Hi, Chris Pratt. Thank you for joining us today. Can you just give us, like, your best impression you think you can do for the Garfield role if you are auditioning today? Let's hear it.
And that's how I adopted John.
Brilliant! We'll wrap it up there, folks. No more auditions today. Chris Pratt showed up and played himself. Beautiful. Yes, blessed we are today on this beautiful Monday. Actually, it's cloudy where I am right now. But on this day, we are to receive the trailer for the new Garfield movie. Look at it. It looks beautiful. It looks lovely. It looks nice. And boy, is it easy to clown on as well. It's the iconic Chris Pratt movie we've been waiting for. As if Chris Pratt being Mario wasn't enough, he's now come to consume Garfield as well. But the visuals are nice, they're lovely and soft, and this trailer looks to be a little bit of a 50-50. There are good points and there are bad points to this movie, right? On the one hand, if you're a Garfield fan and you're not a Chris Pratt hater, you will probably find all sorts of things there are to enjoy. Not only do we get an origin story for the orange pup, he's not a pup, he's a kitten, what's wrong with me? But also there are all sorts of references to the actual body poses from the original strips. A lot of times you can catch just the perfect keyframe animation that works beautifully, especially with the Sony Pictures animation lens. You've also got within this origin story a really nice, nuanced sound, you know? It's got this like slow piano, it's a little bit sad, John's clearly lonely for not having a family of his own. And then you've got this incredibly cute looking baby Garfield. Clearly it's bait, I mean it's just absolute bait to make merchandise out of, I'm sure, and get everybody interested in a tiny little cat thing. But then they also, in that same movie, obviously connect that design to Garfield, who is not so much a cute cat, and clearly that reflects in how he acts later on in life as the tone of this trailer just completely changes. No longer is it sad, slow piano, it's Garfield eats food, telling faintly sarcastic, boring lines, but told in a surprisingly chipper Chris Pratt voice. There are some lovely moments you can find in this trailer, yes. There are all sorts of animation details you'll love to see. I love John's face in the background here when he's underneath the table. There's all sorts of things to enjoy, sure. But the final 2/3 of this trailer just come out as standard. They come out normal. It's just a sort of generic slapstick Garfield time with a poor voice performance in the middle. Like, how about that one line where Garfield's in the bath and he's clearly in pain? How does that sound?
No, ow, it's so hot. Ow, it's really hurting. Ow, ow.
Yeah, it's not really sold, is it? I don't go ow, 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 ow when I'm in pain. At least, like, go ow. You know, it feels like a phoning in, which is ironic because the predecessor to the Garfield voice was Bill Bloody Murray, Mr. Phone It In guy. That being said, I can't say only bad things. There are some elements I do like. I do love the line, bury me in cheese. Beautiful. Kind of standard and classic, but you know, I'll allow it. Is cheese not poisonous to cats? I mean, John clearly hasn't Googled it before trying it for the first time at his little restaurant fest, but oof. No, apparently that it's not toxic to cats, it's just give them upset stomachs. All right. Still, I'm also surprised. Why is John not eating lasagna when he first meets Garfield? Would that not make more sense than pizza? Is there something further connected to pepperoni pizza for all this? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much. Garfield just likes lasagna the best, but you'd think that would be first, you know? Alongside the classic Garfield romp and a surprisingly emotive origin story, we then also have a brand new character to the Garfield verse with the introduction of his dad character, Vic, being played by Samuel L. Jackson. Surely to be a link to the past and being a whole thing about Garfield's origin story again, you know. It's been such a long time since we've seen an origin story redone on a character we know already that origin stories are cool again, I guess. But yes, alongside Samuel L. Jackson, we do have other details of the other cast members involved, including Nicholas Hoult, Ving Rhames, Hannah Waddingham, Brett Goldstein, Cicely Strong, and Bowen Yang. Which I would say is pretty typical, pretty standard, celebrity statuses, getting along to do more marketing things. Speaking of marketing though, if there's one thing that Sony Pictures seems to have nailed in with this, it's the choice to make a whole competition on top of it. It's very weird to see a trailer that had a trailer before the trailer, and then a commercial for a competition afterwards, and then the end credits. Very weirdly put together video, but whatever. Either way, there's a competition to get your cats and dogs involved in IRL bits doing funny things. Makes sense to get all the cats and dog lovers involved in the marketing of this movie. Also kind of generic. I hope they paid for the images they used for that. Like that kitten shot, I've seen a million times before. They better have paid for that. Surely they did, because otherwise they would have used keyboard cat for the keyboard cat, right? Still, great marketing. If not a bit generic, I would say that. Now, what do you think the odds are they're going to have any kind of reference to the Nightmare Fuel version of Garfield? Can it not at least do like a dream or a picture on a fridge or something? It won't. But hey, there's room for an Olive Garden sponsorship. Now, for those that are not aware, this movie is slated for release May 24th, 2024. Very circular date, that one is. Obviously by Sony Pictures, as I've said a handful of times now, but also alongside them working on this project is Alcon Entertainment. And they're not the ones doing the animation, but they are involved in the more production side of things, oftentimes financing and helping with the production elements in the background of this movie. A third company that's credited on the trailer is Prime Focus, who are connected to DNEG Animation. These are the guys that are actually doing the animation for this movie, previously doing similar works like Ron's Gone Wrong. Now, attached to this movie as the director is one Mark Dindal, who's previously known for likes of Cats Don't Dance, The Emperor's New Groove, and Chicken Run. Kind of an OG kind of classical crew member, but not as much as the writer, who is David Reynolds, previously writing for work such as Finding Nemo, Emperor's New Groove again, Atlas the Lost Empire, and Mulan, with their last writing credit, at least on IMDb, being from 2012, which is very interesting. And in case you were wondering, the original creator of Garfield, Jim Davis, is an executive producer for this movie. Probably not a surprise there, but there you are. Oddly enough, there seems to be no word so far for the voice role of Frank Weller. He is the usual Garfield voice, he just doesn't exist. There is no justice for normal voice actors being replaced by prevalent celebrities. And though there is an element of you potentially picking up some of the story details by the fact that Garfield's with his dad and on a train, it's probably just going to be a pretty general, outdoorsy romp in the middle. According to the synopsis in the description of this video, it says, Garfield, the world-famous, Monday-hating, lasagna-loving indoor cat, is about to have a wild, outdoor adventure after an unexpected reunion with his long-lost father, scruffy street cat Vic. Garfield and his canine friend Odie are forced from their perfectly pampered life into joining Vic into a hilarious high-stakes heist. So yeah, pretty standard, classic, normal, whatever. Other credits for the screenplay go to Paul A. Kaplan, previously writing on work such as The Late Bloomer, Dr. Ken, Raising Hope, and Outsourced, as well as Mark Torgove, having much the very same accolades. In fact, their IMDb pages look almost identical. Regardless, I don't really know what to expect of this movie. I imagine it'll be quite generic, run-of-the-mill content. The interesting bit will be the origin story, and then it'll be clowned on a bunch because it's Chris Pratt just doing a Chris Pratt impression. It doesn't sound like Garfield, it's not voice performed well, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not even Chris Pratt's fault. It's probably just the director saying, we want your voice, you're famous, just plug it in. Now just give me, please, some sort of reference to Nightmare Fuel Garfield. It doesn't have to be anything, it just be something as simple as...
Hi there, little buddy.
But I doubt it. Just standard family schmuck. Keeping it safe for now before it can expand into a 15-part franchise, I'm sure. For now, though, there you go. There's the news for Movie News November. You know, I was literally waiting for this trailer to come out, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go for a quick trip to the shops. And then 15 minutes later, after I left, is when this movie dropped. Why? I knew it. I knew it would happen. This new daily change of plans gonna have me stressed looking at the news every 15 minutes. I could just tell. But anyway, there you are. That's the Garfield movie. At least Odie's voice can't be cursed by having a celebrity attached. For now, my name's been Daz. You didn't really care. Let me know your thoughts about the Garfield movie. Are you that passionate? I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you in a little bit.
Say when.
Never, John. Bury me in cheese.